Quick update, the AHA, American Heart Association, recently released this publication where they were showing a 91% increase in heart deaths, cardiovascular deaths, from intermittent fasting. What have you found about this? What have you heard about this? And what should we do with this information?
Yeah, I did read about that, and it was interesting because you hear all of this hype about intermittent fasting, and so I think this is going to be a scare for a lot of people, and so we're seeing a lot of this in the news about what to do. Hasn't actually been published yet in a peer-reviewed journal, so this is an abstract that was at one of the American Heart Association conferences. Although it's been presented, it has not yet gone through that rigorous peer-reviewed process, and so I think for right now, I think we kind of have to take a wait and see approach.
Definitely need to take it with a grain of salt, for sure. What kind of the things that you've seen with it? What are some of the limitations?
So like we said, we're going to take a wait and see, but let's look at the article or the abstract. There's about 20,000 U.S. folks that they looked at.
Which sounds like a lot.
Yeah. And they gave them these two surveys about a week apart, looking at what food they ate the day before. And one of the limitations is that they assumed that these folks were going to eat the same way for the duration of the research project.
Which was several years.
And yeah, on average was 8 years per person. So, that's an assumption that's probably, it's kind of hard to think that they actually did that. But also, out of that 20,000 people, the people that were actually doing the intermittent fasting or were limiting their diets to 8 hours in the day was only about 400 people. So it's a very small...
Not 20,000 people.
Yeah, it wasn't 20,000 people. They were just looking at the 400 out of that 20,000. And that population of people had some limitations in that. They didn't seem to have as much access to food. They didn't have as much money. They tend to smoke more. And there's other things that were probably different about that population that we still need to find out more about.
Yeah, I think that it's very interesting. It's attention-grabbing. Me personally, I am not an intermittent faster, and I don't necessarily promote it. Dr. Fricks, what do you tell your patients about intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Whatever you need to do to lose weight, if you're not hungry, I don't really have a problem with you skipping breakfast. Although the nutritionist is probably having a heart attack right now with me saying that. But what we see in our office is just a lot of people struggling with being overweight. Yeah. I say, there's a lot of diets out there. There's a lot of way of losing weight. Whatever resonates with you and motivates you to kind of get that weight down and get control, then that's probably the best way to go.
All right. So I take it that we shouldn't necessarily change our lives because of this one unpublished study.
I would wait.
But it's certainly interesting.